Moments ago, we saw a statement from the World Health Organization that said moving people that are in severe condition on life support, the elderly in hospitals, a mass evacuation amounts to a death sentence. Any possibility of establishing humanitarian corridors in Gaza?
Yeah, the humanitarian corridors have been sort of, on the diplomatic front burner for the past couple of days because it's clear that the Gaza is so densely packed with civilians, and they have no way out because there's only effectively one border crossing, a side that's not controlled by Israel, and that's the one with Egypt in the south, through which they could get out. The problem so far with that crossing is that Egypt's president has said that Egypt is fully prepared to let in food and medical supply aid through the crossing at the Rafah crossing on its side, on the Egyptian side, but the Palestinian side of that crossing has been sealed, apparently, reportedly, since earlier this week after bombardments in that region. So it is not open, and even if it were actually open, that crossing, Egypt is not prepared right now to accept what would be an exodus of Palestinians from Gaza flowing into Israel. So right there, on a pure geopolitical level, you have that problem. But there literally is, with these safe zones, I mean, beyond humanitarian corridors, what about just safe zones within Gaza itself? It is such a densely packed, and we keep using that term densely packed because it's true. Gaza City itself, which is the largest urban conglomeration in that narrow coastal strip, which is 40 kilometers, 25 miles long from north to south, it's the largest conglomeration. It has just over 1 million people in it, about 1.1 million, and that's what this evacuation order applies to. And it literally is, they have nowhere to go right now. In Israel, you talk about almost every home. We've been talking about in our reporting in the past week, you have a safe room. It's a room that's almost like a bunker, reinforced with more concrete, which is, if not totally impermeable, at least relatively safe-proof against incoming rockets or missiles from Gaza. And Israelis will go into that room with their families at that time. There are shelters underground in all the cities in the south and around Gaza. That is lacking. I'm sorry, on the Israeli side of Gaza, those types of safeguards are lacking in Gaza. People who have in their homes in Gaza, they're extremely lucky if they have a basement they can go to. Some people do, yes. A lot of people do not. Depends also on the floor you're living on, and there aren't the shelters, the network of shelters. We know, yes, Hamas has a tunnel system. That is a completely different thing. That tunnel system is not open to civilians to take shelter in, at least not according to the reports we get out of Gaza. So you have that literally nowhere to go. Once again, I use that phrase because it means that in Gaza itself, if people stay in their homes, Hamas telling civilians, stay steadfast, you do not listen to those Israeli orders, this is your land, these homes, you don't have to go anywhere at Israeli army's orders, you stay where you are. And yet, it's a catch-22. So you listen to Hamas, they stay where they are, they have nowhere to go when those bombs start coming. And Israel then will have the excuse, and here's where it becomes diplomatically, what do you say to this? Israel says, well, we gave the evacuation order, we told them that, we implied that something was coming, and we gave them ample warning to get out. They just can't right now, and this is the problem. Logistically, it is all but impossible to move 1.1 million people south of the Gaza City line all the way to the south of Gaza in 24 hours.